This video is meant for the very first steps of trying to buy a house, whether that's in 6 months or 2 years, but your thought process is, okay, I would like to buy a house. This is not meant for the in-depth pieces of going under contract or looking at houses and what you're looking for. That'll be another video that I post. This is only about those initial steps. So if you don't know where to start with buying a house, this is a great video to be watching. We're going to be going over getting pre-qualified very initially. We're going to be talking about interviewing multiple real estate agents and lenders, and we're going to be talking about some of the small pitfalls you may run into and things to just be aware of. My name is Paden. I'm Clancy Fairbanks with Mountain Buff Real Estate. Well, let's talk about it. The very first step of trying to buy a house is the simplest, easiest, dumbest step out there. We got to figure out what you're pre-qualified for. There's 100 million different ways you can do it, but one of the easiest ways is just find an online mortgage person or ask your friends and family who just bought a house who they used as a lender. But find yourself a lender, submit all your documentation to them, and have them tell you the number that you're pre-qualified for. I don't think it's a good idea to have them do a hard credit pull at this point. Most should be able to do a soft credit pull and at least give you an idea of how much you're qualified for, what the mortgage payment will look like, and all of those small nuanced pieces of it. Once you have that number, once you've submitted all your documentation, they do a soft credit pull on you. You understand the loan program type that you're going to have to use, and you understand what you would need to do to be able to qualify to buy more house or to be able to decrease your mortgage payment. It at least gives you a huge basis of understanding. So let's say hypothetically they say you qualify for a $400,000 house. This is where your next step comes into effect. You need to go find a real estate agent. You can ask that lender if they know a good local real estate agent. You can do the same step. You can talk to friends and family and say, hey, I need a really good real estate agent. You can go on the internet and see who's got 100 million 5-star reviews on Google. But go and find a real estate agent. Say, I'm pre-qualified, which is different than pre-approved, but still pre-qualified for a $400,000 house, and I want to live in these areas. What does that look like? Hopefully, the agent's going to have some form of a buyer's presentation that they'll sit down with you and go over the process of buying a house, and then also they should have the market knowledge to say, you want a $400,000 house, your needs are that you need a 3-bed, 2-bath house. That's possible, but you're going to have to buy an older home from the 1960s or something like that. So that'll give you those two huge pieces of information though. How much can you qualify for, and what does the mortgage look like for that? What does the home look like in that price range? Once you have those two pieces of it, that's when you decide, I want to buy a house right now, or I need to wait and do a larger down payment, increase my credit score, try to figure out a way to make more money so that I can qualify for more house if you need to. After you found a lender and a real estate agent, we go to step number 2, which is interviewing multiple real estate agents. The problem with only one lender is that you can't necessarily be sure that they're the best fit for you. And so if you talk to 2 more, you can start comparing the actual nuanced pieces of a mortgage. Closing costs, different loan programs, different down payments. What does it look like? A huge pitfall you can fall into here is a lender saying that I can give you a 1% less mortgage, but it turns out their closing costs are $25,000. This is a great moment in time to get those 3 quotes in front of yourself and just familiarize yourself with mortgages and the basics behind them. You should also be interviewing these lenders at this time and then decide on the best one to use. If you decide to use the first lender and not interview any other lenders, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your choice. I only give this advice for the standard person that I meet. The second piece of the second step is interviewing multiple real estate agents. The way that you can find multiple real estate agents would be, once again, talking to your lender, talking to friends and family, looking for 5-star reviews. But it's the similar process. Asking them, I qualify for this amount. What does the process of buying a home look like? Do I feel comfortable and trust you to represent me as a real estate agent? You choose not to, nothing wrong with that. But I never think it's a bad idea to interview multiple real estate agents, and I tell all my clients to do the same. So we've went through those first 2 steps. You've figured out how much you qualify for, figured out what type of home that can get you. You've interviewed multiple real estate agents and lenders and chose the 2 that suit your personality the best. And this third part is just understanding some of the pitfalls that you can fall into along the way. One is going to be make sure that your closing costs match a reasonable expectation of what they should be. You can show your closing costs to a realtor, and they're not going to be able to tell you the specifics of it, but they can typically say, yeah, that looks about right. 2, real estate agents cannot show you houses unless they have a buyer-broker agreement with you. If a real estate agent says that you have to sign it for 6 months or a year, and that doesn't make you feel comfortable, say no. I only want to sign it for a week, and I want to try you out as a real estate agent and go look at a couple of houses before I sign on with you indefinitely. If they get all grumpy about that, maybe that's a signal you should be talking to other real estate agents. 3, don't go looking at houses unless you feel like you're wanting to actually start the process of buying a house. Going forward, it can move very quickly from looking at houses to going under contract to closing on a house. And so don't start that process unless you're truly comfortable with it and have an expectation that you want to find something. But tell me, what are your biggest concerns trying to buy a house? Comment that down below, and what are those huge hurdles that you fall into? I hope that this gives you a good basic definition of the very first steps you should be taking when trying to buy a house, and by no means is this an in-depth analysis of the home buying process. Only hopefully the first steps to start your home buying process. If this video helped you out at all, a like and subscribe are always hugely useful. But on top of that, I hope you're having a great day, and bye-bye now.